Have you ever wondered what would happen if Saudi Arabia transforms its desert into a river? Well, then you shouldn't skip this video because we're going to visualize for you this hypothetical scenario. But first, we will look at Saudi Arabia's current reality. In this video, we'll transform the Arabian desert into a river for you, so buckle up, relax, and take in the breathtaking scenery as we explore the possibility of what might have been. Welcome to Tech Hook, a channel designed to pique your interest and provide you with the best in-depth information on technology, space travel, and more. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Now, let's get started right away. We are in Saudi Arabia, one of the biggest nations on the Arabian Peninsula. It is situated here between the nations of Iran, Iraq, Jordan, and Africa. The country has an area of 2.15 million kilometers, which is almost about the size of the east of the United States from the Mississippi River. It is also home to about 27 million people. Given the variety of ecosystems currently present, the geography of Saudi Arabia is undoubtedly diverse. It has deserts, mountain ranges, grasslands, and forests. Different regions have different climates in different seasons. In the summer, the desert may reach above 110 degrees Fahrenheit, while in the north and center of the nation, it can go below freezing in the winter. There are no permanent rivers in the nation, and it only receives about an average of 4 inches of rain each year. However, there are several valleys which have riverbeds that are either continuously dry or only sometimes so. In reality, Saudi Arabia is frequently referred to as a desert nation, and 95% of its land is desert. Southern Saudi Arabia is home to Rub al-Khali, the largest desert on the Arabian Peninsula and one of the greatest sand deserts in the world. The An Nafud Desert is located closer to the borders with Iraq and Kuwait. The third is the Dahana Desert, which links the An Nafud and Rub al-Khali deserts. With the majority of the nation covered in deserts, there sure are a number of drawbacks to this desert nation. One of them is a shortage of water, which is brought on by a combination of factors including little rainfall and quick water evaporation owing to the high temperature. In deserts, the rate of rainfall rarely exceeds the rate of evaporation, making them dry and hot. Desert rain is erratic and relatively localized, although being largely seasonal. Today, Saudi Arabia relies extensively on desalination plants that remove the salt from seawater as well as groundwater. But according to recent research conducted by a local university, Saudi Arabia's water supply would be depleted far sooner than anticipated. The study suggests that the desert nation will run out of groundwater in 13 years. This is mainly because agriculture use accounts for 95% of overall usage. It's way too high, while the remaining 5% is consumed by industry and people. This is why Saudi Arabia is spending billions of dollars to revive their deserts into green forests so that they can solve their water problem and look for additional national income. So let's get to the fun part. We're here to answer the question, what if this country turned its deserts into rivers? So let's dive in. Imagine a hypothetical scenario where you traveled through a time machine and brought one of those cool gadgets that could turn scorching hot deserts into flowing rivers. Ready? Aim, and zap. The deserts finally have permanent rivers, all gushing with fresh water and flowing towards the Arabian Sea. The river ecosystems seem to start flourishing with flora and fauna. Large green forests begin to appear around the river, and the Arabs finally seem to be happy as their water problem seems to have been solved. The river would also have regulated the extreme temperatures. What used to be hot, dry, and scorching heat would now have a pleasant and humid weather that isn't too hot or cold. But wait, the deserts are all gone now, isn't that bad? Well, for most of you, when the idea of the desert comes to mind, you'll probably think that deserts are too hot to live in. There is a scarcity of food and water, so wouldn't it be a good thing if these deserts turned into forests? Maybe not, because deserts are a lot more important than you think. How so? Well, deserts are vitally important to the planetary ecosystem. They cover approximately 1/3 of the dry land of our planet and are also amongst the most fragile and endangered biomes. It is considered one of the most unique and diverse ecosystems on Earth, as it is home to more than 2 billion people and 25% of all animal species found on our planet. Okay, I think you get the point. What impact would this have on Saudi Arabia though? If they had rivers, wouldn't that solve their issues? Well, allow me to explain. Number 1, without its deserts, Saudi Arabia would not be recognized for what it is today. The list of attractions in this oil-rich nation include the tallest skyscraper in the world, Arabian horses, Arabian coffee, innumerable castles, and much more. But the biggest attraction will always be its deserts. Saudi Arabia is home to the largest sand desert in the world, Rub al-Khali, as well as the largest oasis in the world, Al-Hasa. Number 2, more than 25% of all plant species on the planet can be found in the deserts of Saudi Arabia. The vast stretched out deserts are home to 91 mammal species, 319 bird species, and 67 lizard species. The deserts in the oil-rich nation are also the perfect habitat for warm weather creatures to roam around without having to worry about finding food or shelter. So without the deserts, these would all have been wiped out. Number 3, you'd be shocked to learn that there are roughly 7 million people living in the desert areas of Saudi Arabia. These people are reliant on the ecosystem of the desert for their food security. The distinctive cultures and handicrafts that desert communities of Saudi Arabia have developed are very significant to the regional economy and intercultural trade. So just imagine, if these deserts are gone, there would be no handicrafts of cultures to pass on. Number 4, Saudi Arabia is home to over 48 minerals like coal, copper, gold, iron ore, natural gas, petroleum, and so much more. Deserts are often termed as mineral wastelands because they contain large deposits of useful minerals. Fun fact, of the 15 different types of mineral deposits on Earth, 13 can be found only in deserts. The reason for this is that the water evaporates or percolates through the ground so quickly that mineral deposits are left behind. As a result, the desert is crucial for the local and global economy's access to mineral resources. If it didn't have deserts, Saudi Arabia wouldn't be able to produce 69.5 million metric tons of limestone for cement, 55.9 million metric tons of cement, 7.4 metric tons of clay, 22 million tons of sand, and 382 million metric tons of gravel. Number 5, Saudi Arabia's desert is actually one of the largest carbon sinks in the world. To put it simply, a carbon sink actually takes carbon dioxide out of the air to lessen air pollution. Deserts are able to do this because of the silica and magnesium compounds in their sands, which help to keep carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. Although it might not be a long-term fix for global warming, this could help Saudi Arabia and the rest of the world by lessening its effects. Therefore, if Saudi Arabia hadn't developed its deserts, there would currently be a significant amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Although you might think that adding more trees and lush vegetation would solve the issue as well, doing so would be counterproductive because these elements also release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, thus leaving it displaced. Number 6, the Hagra, the Al-Hasa Oasis, the rock petroglyphs and inscriptions at Bir Hema, the rock art in the Hayal Nation, the Kusum Palace and more are among the 6 UNESCO World Heritage Sites in Saudi Arabia, and most of these are found in desert settings. These legacies have been preserved and maintained over the years by the intense heat, dry weather, and other environmental factors. Saudi Arabia wouldn't have these cultural legacies today if it didn't have its deserts. Number 7, Saudi Arabia wouldn't have the largest oil reserves in the world today if it turned its deserts into rivers. So I think I need to explain this one a little. Consequently, plate tectonics is what determines where oil and gas reservoirs are located. And these are typically found in deserts and Arctic regions because they appear to contain the largest hydrocarbon reserves on Earth. But in order to fully grasp this, you must be aware that oil and gas are primarily created by the quick burial of dead microorganisms in conditions where oxygen is so scarce that decomposition is impossible. The deficiency in oxygen enables them to preserve their hydrogen-carbon bonds, a component essential for the creation of oil and gas. As the tectonic plates move, they create a movement of most organic materials, where we can see minerals or sediments that are from swamps, river deltas, and mild climates, then deposited in the poles and deserts. One strong example of this is the Libyan Sahara Desert. It was previously from Antarctica, as the glacier scars can clearly be seen. This place also has large coal deposits and likely abundant oil and gas. Another result of plate tectonics is the pressure cooker effect that slowly transforms organic materials into oil and gas. Oil and gas deposits have plenty of time to move around the world on the back of plate movements because this process typically takes millions of years. So what would happen, in your opinion, if Saudi Arabia converted its desert into a river? Would you agree to what we've listed here? Share your opinion with us in the comments section below. And I sincerely hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, go ahead and hit that like button, and thank you for taking the time to watch. I hope to see you in the next one too.